Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back for another Total War video with the Terminator. Today, I'm going to be playing my first 10 turns video with Carthage in Divide Et Impera. So it should be a really interesting one. I started off with Rome and Epirus, which were great videos. I really hope you enjoyed it. And after a poll I did this week, Carthage won out. So we're going to be doing Carthage today. Now, I know a lot of people, before you leave, I know that Carthage can be quite a boring faction. A lot of people think that, you know, at the start of the campaign, at least the first 10 turns, you really need to start investing and building up cities and not really expanding out too quickly. Otherwise, you know, you'll risk public order getting out of control. And I don't know, you could get a lot more income if you build up your cities, especially as Carthage with those rich lands that you already own. But today, I'm going to be playing Carthage a little bit differently. I'm going to be playing it a bit more risky compared to how I've done these videos before. And I really hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this play style. So like and comment below, guys, if you do enjoy it, if you learned something new. Subscribe for more Total War content and gameplay and news, you know, all that. And let's get started with this campaign. Alright guys, so this is the first turn in my recommendations of how you can enjoy Carthage and DEI. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try and whiz through very quickly before getting into how I'm going to be playing this. But essentially, what you can do as Carthage is, as you'll notice, you're quite stretched out in the beginning. You know, you have a lot of cities in this Africa province to the east of North Africa. You're quite stretched out to the west, into Spain as well. And obviously, you're at the kind of cusp of another Punic War with Rome, because you're at war with Syracuse, and as soon as you take that city, Rome will declare war on you, and likely, I think they still do this, spawn a big, nice Roman stack against you. So it's a difficult position to be in. You can, of course, turtle up and just build up all your buildings, get as much income as possible, and then go for the expansion. That's totally a way to play Carthage. It is, as everyone says, the boring way to play the faction, and that's not how I'm going to be doing that today. But so let's run through the options first really quickly. So if you wanted to expand out into Spain, how I would do it is I would go up from Mastia, build up this army in like 2 turns a little bit, get into Ars, the region of the Edetani, take Ars with some mercenary recruitment as well, take the city, come back down to Cartuba, build up another army in Gadir to meet you up there, 2 army attack Cartuba, take that, and then go up to Iplacea, and then to Numantia. So those 4 cities you can take in about 20 turns, roughly. And in that way, and by doing that, you basically secure 2 provinces in Spain. And it's a very, very good start. So by doing that, you unlock a lot more income. You can grow your cities a lot faster with that money. And then you can use those 2 armies to keep expanding. So you can go into Tarraco, you can go into the western side of the Spanish peninsula here and take out the rest of these minor factions before even going into these kind of like southern Gaul lands and starting to challenge these southern factions over here as well. So yeah, that is one way you can start off as Carthage. I think by doing that, you could probably get up here within like 50 turns max. The other way to do it, obviously, is to challenge Egypt. So Egypt starts with a couple vassals here, the Kyreniki, and I think the Nasamones is a vassal. I might be wrong there, but essentially, you build up Africa and you start challenging Egypt straight on. You build a navy, you go into Kyreniki, Kyrene with an army, you take it, and then, I mean, you could even ignore the Nasamones for now and just go straight to Alexandria. You take Alexandria, and you have a very defensible city that can hold on its own with a great garrison. So you take that, and then you move an army down south and start kind of shifting to the southern side of this province as well. And that way, you essentially obliterate Egypt. That's the easiest way to do it. Get a navy, get an army, get a second army, and get into Egypt and take it out. And then you can basically like shut off the border here while you expand out south, get more provinces, or even move back like up here into Seleucid lands. It's totally up to you. But that's another way you can do it as Carthage. The third way, as I mentioned, is you turtle up, build up lots of buildings, get an income of like 10, 15,000 gold, build up like 4 or 5 armies like that, and just expand out any way you want to. Again, you can do that, or even challenge Rome. It's totally up to you. Or you can, from the get-go, just take on Rome. And this is probably the most risky way you can play as Carthage, and it's the way I'm going to try and play Carthage today. So it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, you start off at war with Epirus, so once you take Syracuse, you start the Punic War with Rome, and once you get into Crescentia, you might spawn that Roman elite stack army here. But I mean, I'm hoping, and this, I mean, you know, depending on what the AI does, we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that once you get Syracuse and you start moving up into here, Epirus starts being aggressive against Rome as well. And if that happens, then we are in a good place. So the idea would be take Syracuse within a couple turns, move up to Crescentia, take that. Hopefully Epirus is starting to move up against Beneventum. You can use that engagement to either take Beneventum or Taurus, blocking Epirus's route into Italia, taking out that army, and then focusing squarely on Rome and hopefully taking him out. So it's a difficult start. Rome is obviously the most powerful faction in the game, but there are various things you can do to beat him, you know? So that's what we're going to try and do today. It's going to be tough, so let's see if I can do it. All right, so let's get started. So in terms of technology, I'm going to go for this one here, the logistics. That's going to give us the mercenary procurer, a great little infantry building to give us some really nice units for Carthage. So that's what we're going to do there. Diplomatically, we want to get lots of trade agreements. Obviously, we're not going to be expanding east or into Spain. So let's get lots of trade agreements, like as many as we can. Everyone is going to be very, very willing because we are Carthage, obviously. This might take a little bit because we pretty much know everyone at this point. So bear with me. But the point here is, guys, because you're going after Rome, everyone else isn't really a threat to you, and they know that. You know, they're not going to go against Carthage from the get-go. That would be really stupid. What you do need to worry about, though, is these guys, the Editani. They might very well invade your lands and try to mix things up a little bit in this campaign. So you wanna be wary of what they're up to in Spain. They're very aggressive bastards, they are. So yes, lots of trade agreements, the usual. Normally I would have said with another faction, why don't you build a navy and go and like meet other factions, but as you can see, we've pretty much met a lot of factions already. Oh, right. Renegade. Excellent. Actually, you know what? Yes, you could get a non-aggression pact with them. That would be a decent idea. You don't want to go to. You don't want to have a second front war here. That would not be ideal. Oh, the Nasamones are not their vassal. Interesting. No worries at all. Good. All right, the Turdetani. Let's see how they feel about us. Oh, they do feel good. Excellent. Let's get that trade agreement as well. Excellent. All right. Do they want a non-aggression? No, they don't. That's fine. All right, so we've got all our trade agreements. That's boosted our income by about 500-600 right from the get-go. We have a lot more money in our coffers as well. An excellent start with Carthage. Now, the important thing from here is to look at public order. You can see you've got lots of declining public order across your vast empire. So we're going to just lower this tax level until it's in the positive. We still have lots of income, so we don't need it. The other thing, of course, is our border with the Editani. So you're going to just recruit a few more cheap units here to keep them in check. I would recommend go for the cheap units. Don't go for anything too expensive. So go for some slingers and go for some spearmen just to be able to defend the city effectively and cheaply. And then we want to have a look at buildings, guys. That's going to be the next important thing. So you want to be able to defend this province first and foremost. Mastia is going to need one of these, the muster field. So once you get that, you can get the next infantry building, which will give you a garrison. That's going to be important. You can also build this guy as well, the large colony, which will give you another big garrison. Very important. And then you want a bit more food in this province as well. So I'm going to build up a farm on Ibosim. That's what we're going to do here. That's all we're going to do here. You don't need to really do anything else, to be honest. And then you want to look at the Africa province, obviously the most important province in Carthage's holdings. So again, you want to get some food. Food is going to be super important. I am going to build it in Euphrantia because that will give me... Actually, do I want to build it in Euphrantia? Let's get it in Thapsos because Thapsos is that fishery food kind of production city. You want to get that... You want to get that, what am I saying here? That upgraded main settlement building for Euphrantia as well, because it's on the border with these guys. So get that built and maybe, yeah, get that infantry building here as well, just for that added defense on this side of the world. And then the rest of your kind of building money should go into this island here. So you want to get... You want to get an infantry building in Panormos, and you want to get the upgraded settlement buildings in these cities as well, just for the added defense, just in case, you know, that's what it's really for. And then finally some food, because you really, really need the food. Absolutely. At the start of your campaign with any faction, food is super important. So if you're not investing in food producing buildings, you're screwed. So yeah. All right. So that's how we're going to start it. I'm not really going to worry about building up naval buildings really at the start. I mean, you know, if you want to focus on empire building, get as many buildings as possible, I'd recommend the harbor for most of your naval buildings. That will add to your income a great deal in the long term especially. So definitely do that. But we're going to focus on this guy now, the Friends of the 104. Interesting army name. So we're going to focus on these guys. Syracuse has a garrison of 15 units, including 5 hoplite units. And they have this army as well. So I'm going to move the army this way because we need to make some recruitment before we go against Syracuse. And we are going to recruit, again, some cheap units. Now, all of these units are actually cheap. They're not that bad. So we're going to go for these units here. And then we're going to go around, or maybe we will go around here, and we'll take Syracuse pretty quickly. And we actually... Yeah, actually what I might do is just do it for one turn and then get some mercenaries and attack Syracuse head on. That's what we might do in the next turn. So yeah, that's essentially what we're doing in this turn, guys. Building up some nice buildings that will secure those border cities, and then focusing on this army in Sicily to attack Syracuse next. That's going to be the plan. Once this army takes Syracuse, we'll move it up here. We'll start a second army and we'll go against Rome. That's going to be the plan. And yeah, in the meantime, we'll leave this guy there. I've got a navy in Carthage, so we could build up this navy as well, just to give us a bit more firepower against Rome. Yeah, let's do that. And the reason why I go for this cheaper navy units here is because I'm going to use them to ram most of all. I'll use them to get into the naval engagement, start firing with their missiles, but then I'm going to really move them in for a ramming action against any naval power that we come against. So yeah, that's going to be used to help us attack Syracuse as well in the next few turns. So that's the first turn, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Right after I do this, of course. So Carthage, obviously, let's get that added tax rate. We've got this province as well, which we will use. Yeah, let's just use it for tax rate as well. All right. All right, guys, so the aggressive play begins. I've got my navy ready to attack Syracuse, so we're going to go ahead and declare war. Get the blockade set up. All right, so we've got the Navy at the city. They've got some decent units defending, but that's okay because we've got elephants and other mercenaries about to join us. We've got lots of money as well to support the cause. So we're going to get, let's see, we're going to get as many of these as we can, really. Yes, there we go. All right, now we have a decent army to attack. All right, now I'm not going to recommend you attack the city head on. I mean, you can, absolutely. Or you could auto-resolve it. No, you can't. Okay. But I'm going to wait for them to sally forth towards me, because then Syracuse is a difficult city to attack from siege, especially if you don't have a lot of units. So we're going to wait for them to attack in the next couple turns, and then we're going to fight this battle on the ground, and I'll show you how I'm going to fight it. So that should be really interesting. Let's have a look at public order also, just to see if we can increase our tax level a bit. I think we can, so we'll do that. There we go. Very good. So that should give us a nice income boost as well. All right, so let's see if this battle happens. All right, guys, so the Battle of Syracuse is upon us. They did sally forth to attack my attacking army. I made the silly mistake of thinking that my navy would my navy would support this battle, but they didn't, which is totally fine. Just make sure you remember that the navy doesn't exactly support your assault on Syracuse, but it's totally fine. You've got a really good army here. You've got some elephants. You've got some nice missile units that can really pin them down and do some really nice damage from range. And I've got these hoplites. So it may seem quite scarce at the moment in terms of a infantry point of view, but it goes a lot better than you think. So let's fast forward a little bit here. The elephants are going to be so important in this engagement, and the missile units as well. Just the flanking capacity of these units to do massive damage is going to be so important. Let's see. The fast forward is being a little bit slow. Come on, come on. All right. So this is the main army here. This isn't the garrison army. And what I've done basically is if I pulled forth the slingers to attack this ranged cavalry unit first. These guys are dangerous. They can flank around, attack units from behind if used well. The AI doesn't, which is fine for me. So I start basically using these slingers to attack from range. I start using the elephants and the cavalry to move forward for some flanking. And that's the garrison army here now approaching from this side of the map. So just keeping an eye on that, but mainly focusing with these missile units up front, these slingers, to attack their main force. And they're going straight for my hoplites here, which is good for me. And I'm using the elephants now to come around and attack from the side. So I'm going to go for the general here and this missile unit first and foremost. I'm going to use my general here to attack the light missile cav here and finish them off first as well. So that's going to be a nice solid move. And here come the elephants now. Let's watch this charge. Very cool, very cool. Elephants here doing some nice damage against the general. It's actually not as nice as I would like it to have. So the general is definitely losing a lot of units, but my elephants are... the combat is even. It's not as good as I'd like it to be. So the general has attacked this missile unit now. Their units are up against my hoplites as well. Let's get a closer look at this. There they are. They're being attacked by lots of lots of rocks coming from my slingers as well. So it's not a great battle at the moment for them. General is now moving back, moving away from these infantry units who are being a little threatening on that side. And actually he's being, yeah, as you can see, he's being attacked by their missile units as well. So I need to move him back soon. And while over here, I'm just having a bit of trouble getting these elephants to be in an effective position against these this general unit. So that's what's going on there. I'm kind of keeping these guys, these javelin men, in the reserve because once these guys start moving forward, this garrison army starts moving forward, I'm going to move them front and center and start attacking these missile units. Yeah, so In the meantime, I'm moving these guys in a flanking position to finish their infantry off from their main army. So that's what I'm doing there. Moving the general a little bit back as well because they're in range now. And as you can see here, I'm having a bit of trouble on this side of the flank as well. My light infantry is having a bit of trouble against their citizens, which was a little bit surprising. And my elephants are just having a bad time as well. I don't know why. I'm not using them very effectively. So I'm trying to pull them back, basically. And I'm going to use them to attack their missile units from behind. That's what's happening there. I'm moving my general now across the other side of the flank to attack their general, basically. That's going to be the plan with that unit. So their front line is starting to retreat, which is good for me. Elephants are now in solid morale again, which is good. They're going to go straight for it, straight into the fray, and attack those missile units. Fast forwarding a little, we've got the general engaging their general now. My light units have kind of regained a bit of morale with the general in its range. I've got this unit that's kind of idle, which I haven't noticed yet, but I'm going to move him forward very soon as well. Their spearmen are coming into range now of the rest of my units here, which isn't ideal. But these elephants are going to do some very decent damage. People here are already breaking in terms of morale because these elephants are menacing. You know, if you see these elephants at a distance coming towards you, you're done. In the meantime, these guys are going to start attacking from range against these missile units, doing some nice damage. General now has some support with this ranged unit at attacking these guys, which I kind of needed. This is some very heavy shock cavalry, so I'm going to use my general basically to flank around while these guys keep him busy. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. In the meantime, I'm setting up another front line here. I'm setting up a front line because these spearmen are barreling forward towards me, and I don't want to attack them head on. The hoplites are used best when they're in a holding defensive position. So that's what I'm trying to do here. In the meantime, things are a little bit messy here. The elephants are kind of destroying the very light melee units. They've done a decent job of killing off the ranged units that were here as well. And these guys are picking off the last of them as well. So that's all good. But I'm going to use these guys now to, I think, attack the general and finish him off from two sides, as you can see here. So that's what's going to happen there. Slingers are now attacking the main garrison melee force who are coming towards me. In that kind of phalanx position. And they're doing some great damage. This is why you want to have slingers, guys, because they can basically just attack infantry from range and soften them up a little bit before they get to your front line. So that's what's happening there. The rest of these units are oddly coming up to my javs, even though they're not really that much of a threat against them. So I start pulling them back, which is totally fine. That takes them away from the main fight, which works for me. These guys are doing something weird as well. I think they've seen my flanking infantry and decided they're going to go up against them, which gives me an opportunity to come up towards them with these hoplite units. So that's what I'm going to do. Catch them on the flank here and do a bit of damage. Slingers are just doing such a good job. That's why you need them. In the meantime, though, the general has been defeated. It's meant that my general's taken some casualties, but that's okay. And I'm going to use these elephants now who are freed up to attack the rest of their units. Let's slow this down and get a closer look. I love these elephant charges. Nope, not a great angle. Let's take a look from this side. Some nice shots there of the elephants getting into the fray against this unit. Very nice. And then, yeah, let's fast forward a little bit here. Let's see what happens. So I'm using basically these melee units here to flank around against the first attack by the garrison, which is going very, very well. They're doing such a good job of just harassing, breaking morale because their general's dead. This is the kind of move you want to make. Come up against the flank, attack them head on, and do some really nice damage. The slingers have run out of ammo now, so I'm moving them back. These guys are going to start running out of ammo as well, so I'm gonna have them in a holding position while my cavalry and the elephants basically clear up the rest of these forces. So let's fast forward a little bit, see what happens. They've got their breaking front line here, as you can see. They're breaking. I've got the elephants moving up against the spearmen now. They're not in a decent kind of position to make any sort of defense against them. Look at that. Doing some very decent damage against that unit there. My general clearing up the rest of these units back here as well. These guys have taken out one unit completely, which is amazing. All these units are breaking, and so I'm focusing the attention of these melee units against their last remaining unit here. Who are these guys? The Greek militia, a phalanx unit. So basically getting these guys up against them, front line, and getting the elephants to come around the flank and finish them off. In a menacing kind of flanking maneuver here. That's what you want to be doing. Keeping them busy. And here come the elephants. It's a strange angle, actually, when you look at it like this, but still, the main purpose of the elephants here is to break them. And that's what they do. And with that, we have a heroic victory. So let's move on to see what happens in the campaign. All right, guys. So with that, we've defeated the forces in Syracuse with a pretty decisive battle. Look at that. I only lost one unit, and I committed my general a little too much, but overall, we absolutely smashed them. So we're going to take Syracuse pretty quickly now, which is a great start, actually, to this campaign. And we'll just go ahead and do that. Let's attack. And we'll auto-resolve on a defensive position so we don't take as many casualties. We still got that fully equipped navy outside the city as well, so we'll use that right away to start going up against Rome. And yeah, I'm going to occupy the city. Imperium. Sweet. All right, so we've taken Syracuse. What a joyous day. So I'm going to build an agora here that will give us our supply building so we can march on to Rome right away. I'm going to build up the main settlement building as well very soon so we can get a nice defensive city here, which will be really good. And to be honest, in its stead, I'm going to just get rid of the Hellenistic settlement upgrade here because I don't really need it at the moment. The main defensive city in this island has become Syracuse, so I don't really need it. So yeah, we've got a nice little couple armies here, navies, ready to go up against Rome right away, which is very cool. I mean, the navy itself, we're not really going to be using too much in the attack against Rome, so we can get rid of some of the units here. That should be fine. We'll use it as more like a defensive navy in Syracuse in case, I don't know, the Epirus AI decides to go against us in some weird tactical maneuver. So we're gonna just muster up a few more troops in this army. Get some cheap units here. Should we get a baggage train? Nah, we should be okay. I'm gonna get some more slingers. Yeah, we're gonna get some more slingers. They're gonna be super important. And yeah, we'll just station this navy inside the city for the kind of defensive position, as I said. All right, so we've taken Syracuse. Very soon that Punic War will start, and I think Rome will spawn that elite army stack here that we'll have to go against. But yeah, so that's going to be pretty much the end of the turn here. We've taken Syracuse, and we're going to start moving up against Rome. All right, let's end the turn here. See what happens. Oh, hold on. Let me just give this guy some skills. There we go. All right. Interesting. Why did this guy... All right. I'll see you at the next turn, guys. Nope. Right after I do this as well. Tax. All right. Here we go. All right, guys. This is turn 5, I think. And we are ready to go to war with Rome. Now, keep in mind that by doing so, your reliability rating is going to decrease because you already have a few treaties with them, which is fine. I mean, that comes back into the positive pretty quickly, so I wouldn't worry about it. Before we go and do this, I'm going to get a few mercenary units. So we're going to get some cav and a few more infantry. So let's hire that up, and then let's go and declare war. Looks like they had a bit of a tussle with Epirus recently as well. So I think this should be quite easy, actually. Yeah, it's quite easy. So I'd recommend you fight it because, I mean, they have pretty much nothing. You can fight it and have like 2% casualty rate versus what you're getting here. But I'm going to just auto-resolve it for now because it doesn't really matter that much at the moment for this video at least. And we're not losing any units either. So we're going to do this. We're going to loot the city as well for that added income. And we're going to keep a close eye on Beneventum here, which I think likely has that elite stack of Roman units that will come down and go against us. There's also Epirus to keep an eye on as well. He's got that army in Taris. He's got another one, Pyrrhus, over in Apollonia recruiting. So there's no reason why they couldn't just come around here and try and take you out as well. So just keep that in mind. Let's convert the main settlement building here and destroy that as well in favor of another better building. I think we'll probably go for a religious building here in Consentia to start converting some of the populace, because that's going to be the biggest effect on your public order right from the get-go. Look at that. Cultural differences is at -15. And the best way to do that is with the main settlement building and with the cultural building, the religious building. So that's what we're going to focus on here. We've got a nice little income boost as well. So I'm going to build up Syracuse right away. And let's see. I think that's all I'm going to do for now as well. We still want to have a nice little bit of a coffer in case anything goes wrong. And this is kind of the point at which some of your buildings will start being kind of finished. So once those are finished, you might get another bit of an income boost, in which case you can start building that second army here in Sicily to help support you in your campaign. So that's that would be my recommendation really for this at this point in the first few turns. That's what I would be doing. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've got a nice little foothold into Italy. Rome has been limited now to the middle north side. They've taken Arretium from the Etruscans. Interesting. So that's actually the elite army might be up there, which does present a nice little opportunity to take Beneventum or take out Taris really quickly. We'll see what we do here, but that's pretty much going to be the end of the turn here. We're going to do some replenishment, and then we're going to move this army up into our next target. All right. You know what? Should we just start building the army right away? I think so. Let's get rid of this navy. Let's start building up that army. Raise. Oh wait, we have a reinstate legacy. Is that the? I think that must be the navy. Yep, it is. Okay. Yeah, let's raise an army here. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, let's do you. Get you in Syracuse. Let's get some nice hoplite units to start with, and then we'll get some of the other. We'll get some slingers, some cavalry maybe, and then we'll use this army to go up and start supporting this one here. All right. Let's end the turn here. See you in the next one. All right, guys. So I think this is turn 7 now, and we've got a nice little supplementary army down here that I'm going to move up to Consentia. They're going to just basically be there to defend the city against Pyrrhus, possibly attacking in any way. I've made peace with him just so I don't need to focus on Epirus for now, and we can continue this war with Rome. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to move this army up to Beneventum. Beneventum, not sure what the garrison is at the moment, but Pyrrhus shouldn't really be worrying us at this moment. We're going to move this army up into Beneventum. Ooh, look at that. They have that elite army defending. Oh my gosh. Look at that. All right, so they've got some nice Principes, Triari, lots of nice kind of mercenary units as well, actually, interestingly. And they have this garrison army as well. So very, very tricky. I'm going to go ahead and wait for them to attack me because I don't want to assault the city, really. I want to get them out in the open field where I can flank around a little bit and use my elephants against them more effectively. So we're going to wait for that to happen. Probably mid-turn, they'll attack us. And in the meantime, we're moving this guy up as well. We might get some mercenary units here as well and help attack Beneventum also. Let's see what happens there. But yeah, so that's how things are going. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this coffer as it is in case we need some more mercenary units. And we're going to see how this battle turns out. Super exciting. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, so the battle has started. The Romans have attacked us, and I'm basically setting myself up here in a defensive position. The Romans have some really good units. They've got Triarii, they've got Principes, they've got a decent number of cavalry as well. So this is not going to be an easy fight. So what I would do is get up into like it's almost kind of corner camping, but not really. You want to get into a defensive position that baits them into the front line here where I've got my Libyan hoplites all set up, and you're going to use these slingers to basically attack them from range, and then you're going to use the cavalry and the elephants, which I've hidden here, they haven't seen that yet, to flank around the main force and attack them. Just kind of the way we did with Syracuse. You want to pin them down, pin down their best units in the front line. Have these spear units in the flanks against any kind of like cavalry attack here. But you want to pin them down and use your cavalry units to flank around and attack them head on. So that's what we're going to do here. It's going to be an interesting fight, very tough. They've already started moving a cavalry unit to the front line, which obviously the AI does sometimes, so that was a mistake. So we defeat these units quite quickly. They commit their second general here, and another medium shot cavalry, the Equites, by the way, now that I've pronounced that correctly, into the front line. So we're going to use our ranged cav here to attack them from range. We're going to use the general to swing around here and support this as well, because these guys need to be defeated. You need to have cavalry superiority in your battles. Absolutely, 100%. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on here. I'm going to move these units forward to attack these guys. I'm going to move the elephants out here as well to attack the general. And we're going to wipe these guys out. So that's what's going to happen here. In the meantime, they're like committing a very, very large number of their melee force right into the front line, which is just wild. That every unit here is going to just be committed to the front line, which is insane. So it's quite scary. We need to hold the line here as much as possible. I'm using my slingers to use their kind of use. What's the word? Use a ranged ability to focus on that one part of section. So that's what I'm doing here. These three units are going to be attacking a very small circular area right here, while these other units are going to be focusing on this area here to relieve some pressure. So that's what's happening here. They're going to try and attack the flank here as well. So it's kind of lucky that I've got these units all set up. We're going to move them forward to attack these units. And in the meantime, just focus the cavalry on these units. So they're doing a decent job of honing in on my missile units, but my elephants are now catching up. They're going to do some damage against the general here, and these guys are doing some damage against these Equites as well. So it should be a really, really decent fight on that side. And the front line, oh my god, like this front line, guys, oof. Seriously scary stuff. They've committed cavalry, they've committed their Triarii, their Principes on that side as well. It's very, very scary. Their ranged units as well are doing some decent damage. They've got a lot of them. So I really need to make some headway against these cavalry. There we go. They're starting to break a little bit. That one's broken. He's going to start moving off. And we're going to move these guys around now. So getting that unit up here. Getting the missile unit over here as well to come round and start attacking this unit from behind, and focus the general and the elephants up against their missile units. Attacking these guys, look at these guys, look at what they're doing to my army here. Attacking these guys head on is going to be so key to relieving some pressure in the front line. For some reason, they've committed their general into the front line as well, which is not ideal for them. And my elephants are going to have a great time when they flank around and attack that general. So that's kind of what's happening. It's a very interesting battle against the Romans, a big battle against that big stack of elite units. And it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was I keep saying that. It was scary. Fighting Rome against with any faction is a scary ordeal, but we do some really, really good stuff here. So I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit here while my general and the elephants move up. And they're going to start doing some really good stuff against these missile units. So there they go. They start getting into the fray. These guys are doing some decent missile damage from behind, some morale penalties against them with that. I've got some breaking units on this side of the battle, which is not ideal. Even though they're fighting some light Rorari, these guys are really, really good. So I'm trying to hone in these missile infantry against these guys. That's what we're trying to do here. In the meantime, the cavalry is doing some great stuff against the missile units. Elephants have come across some spearmen, so I'm trying to move them off. Trying to move them off into these missile units here. I've got a nice flanking position with these medium spear infantry, so we're going to take out the Italian town guard here and then focus, look, 1, 2, 3 units onto this flank here. It's going to be really, really good. These guys have run out of ammunition as well, so they're getting into the fray, taking out these spear units who are surprised by the attack. They did not see that coming, obviously. And the general is doing some really good damage. He's going to move up against these missile units now as well. We're attacking these light spear infantry to relieve some pressure. Elephants are going to go straight into this back line of Roman infantry in a kind of cutting move here. That does some really, really good damage. Look at that. Romans flying about, dying left, right, and center. Just the way I like it. These units are going to start breaking. They're being flanked on all sides. Look at that. Excellent stuff. I'm going to use these missile cav units to start harassing the rest of these units as well. So these guys are going to go straight into the back line of the Roman front line here. General doing some good damage against these missile infantry. He's going to move up against these guys very soon as well. And it's relieving pressure, guys. That's what you're doing. Not only are you killing the Romans effectively, you're relieving pressure on the front line who can continue doing some very decent damage against the Romans. And look at that. So many flags going white, which is really, really nice to see. These guys have defeated this unit here, so they're going to start moving up against this flank. General is now going to charge up against these missile units who are already breaking. You see, they're already breaking. Lots of their units have broken already. And that's how you do it, guys. That's how you defeat a terrifying Roman army in open battle. That's how you do it. Super, super well kind of thought out and tactically well done battle there that you can use against the Romans when you come up against them. So let's see what happens in the campaign map from here on. All right, guys, so I think it's safe to say that Gambit really paid off with that battle. We managed to obliterate the first legion of the Romans, and I think with this army now, the Friends of the 104, we can take Beneventum once and for all. Now, again, I'd probably recommend you play this battle. Don't auto-resolve it. I'm going to just auto-resolve it for the purposes of this video, but definitely play it. You'll minimize your casualties, and with that, you will take Beneventum. Look at that. We still have all our units. We've taken another key city away from the Romans. Their main army has been destroyed. Really, really good stuff overall, don't you think? So we've taken Beneventum. Epirus is at bay. We haven't really done anything with them just yet. Looks like they're sending an army back to Apollonia. I wonder where that other army is actually. It might be up here looking at Asculum. But yeah, so really, really good stuff, actually. I'm going to just do a bit more recruitment. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Let's get some buildings built. So at this point in the campaign, Rome is on its knees. We're going to use this army to probably push up to Beneventum, take Asculum, maybe raise it or loot it, and then move up to Rome and take Rome. That's going to be the main objective here, to really bring Rome to its knees. But in the meantime, I'm going to develop a few more cities just for the added income. You know, there's no reason why you couldn't keep empire building while you're doing all this. So I'd recommend you build that main settlement building in Africa for Carthage. So go ahead and do that. Maybe get a nice little harbor here as well, just for the added income. The trade income should be really good. And in the meantime, we've got a few more buildings throughout just being finished as well, which should be good. The main worry on this side of the world, obviously, is Editani, so keep a close eye on that one. But we do have a nice garrison here as well. So we've got 9 decent units here, as well as the 16 garrison in the city. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just make sure to keep an eye on it, definitely. And let's get this guy for the added tax rate. I've lowered my tax rate as well just to make sure this city, Crescentia, doesn't go too far into the negative here. It's going to be just for this turn since we've had this conquest of Beneventum. But just always like keep a little close eye here and there on public order. Have a look at diplomacy again to see how things are going here. I think we've pretty much maxed out what we can do here. We can ask Granike for a trade agreement. They're not going to go for it. Well, so yeah, that's going to be, I think, the end of the turn here. Let's see what happens next. Oh, right after I do this. I thought I checked it. Oh, well. All right. All right, guys. So just as I thought, Epirus has moved up to take Asculum, which is totally fine by us. Epirus we can deal with very soon. The main objective for this kind of starting campaign is to bring Rome to its knees. And to do that, we need to take Rome. That's the main objective. We take Rome, and Arretium and Ariminum should fall really quickly. So what we've done here is I've waited another turn just to be able to replenish this army a bit. So I'm going to move this army now to besiege Rome because they're doing some recruitment there. We don't want any sort of recruitment to happen. The current version of DEI means there's a little bug that allows Rome to recruit some later reformed units. So that's kind of not ideal. But it's totally okay. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna continue the siege here while we move this army up to support. So we're gonna recruit a few more units. Let's get these guys, I think. And you know what? Let's see if we can wrangle a bit more money out of some people to recruit some more units out of that army. Moderates. Let's see. Come on, Macedon. Come on. You can do this. You can do this. All right. Bugger. Let's try and go for some non-aggressions then. Atheni, maybe a non-aggression with them. Yep. They might go for it. Oh, come on, Athens. All right, we got a little bit of money there. How about you? Nope. What about the Sessatani? Oh, we already have one with them. That's fine. What about the Daorsi? Oh, we've got them as well. Excellent. They don't want to go for it. We've got one with them already. What about the Lusitanen? They might go for a trade agreement. Yes, look at that. Excellent. All right, we've got a bit more money from them. That's what we need, guys. We need just that added income to help us boost our armies from a mercenary perspective. That's like what you want. That's essentially what you want. Let's have a look at these guys as well. All right, no, that's fine. All right, so we've got a bit more income now. We can get a few more mercenary units, which would be really, really ideal. There we go. All right, now let's move these guys up. Help support the attack on Rome. This is like the ideal Carthage campaign right here. And let's see. Look at that. The balance of power is heavily in your favor now. They have a decent garrison. You know, it's a very big garrison for what it is. They have that nice Italian horseman as well. Very good unit. But you should attack this like 100%. You have a lot of unit superiority from a quality perspective, as well as numbers. You have a lot more numbers compared to Rome. So you should definitely play this and win it. And with that, you should take the city. And this should be the first 10 turns as Carthage right here. So you've done a really good job of expanding out really, really quickly, taking on Rome head on. And I mean, look at that. Mainly with the help of mercenaries, as you know, with lots of trade agreements, we managed to basically get a really, really nice foothold into Italy. And that's the point here. That's what you want to be doing with Carthage. I mean, you can obviously go the boring route, expand out into Spain and go east into Egypt. That's obviously totally okay as well. But personally, this is how I would play Carthage. We've managed to take some really key cities here in Italy. I think what I would do next is go up into Arretium and Ariminum, finish Rome off, and then focus east on Epirus, because that's going to be the main worry here. And you can use the same kind of tactics that I used in my Rome first 10 turns video as well to attack Epirus and finish them off as well. So you can get a nice little foothold into Greece, or you could even liberate Apollonia and have a nice little ally in Greece as well. Totally up to you. But this has been my first 10 turns, guys, with Carthage. Oh, God, I can't talk. With Carthage. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. I hope you've seen a really interesting take on how you can run with Carthage in DEI. It's not as intimidating as it sounds to take on Rome right from the get-go, and that's how I would play it. That's the most fun version of how you can play with this wonderful, wonderful faction. So yeah. That's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something from how you can play in DEI and play as Carthage. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more Total War content, gameplay, and news just like this. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Drop any thoughts or questions into the comment section below as well. I'm happy to respond to any thoughts as well. I'm really, really responsive. And thanks for watching, guys. Next 10 turns video will come next week. Let me know what faction you want to see in the comment section below as well. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.